So this morning we are going to make my mom's green chili and ham quiche. Thank you, Mom, for teaching me how to do it. I absolutely love this. It is a holiday tradition that we do every Thanksgiving, Christmas. We even do it for like Father's Day for my dad because he loves it. So that's what we're gonna be making today. Here are the ingredients we need: eggs, ham, cheese, flour, half and half, salsa, and the all-important green chilies. Okay, we're going to preheat the oven at 375. We're gonna go ahead and butter our pie dish, so this way nothing sticks. This may take a minute, so make sure you get all in those corners. Now we're adding half of our cheese into the pie dish because we're going to create layers for our quiche. So I'm going to get about half of this bag and sprinkle along the bottom. I'm going to get a good helping handful of this too. So this way, when it melts, it almost creates a crust for the quiche. Just gonna add a smidge bit more. And then we're gonna layer in our fried ham and our green chilies. So we may not even use all of it. Excuse the mess I make. We want it well hammed, but not too ham. Not too hammy. Alright, and we're going to take about half of the green chilies we prepped earlier, and we're just going to sprinkle them in as well. Now, of course, as I always say, the recipe is always in the comments of the video. You can see the amounts that my mom uses for this recipe. I went a little heavy on the green chilies, but you know, it's that whole measure it with your heart. I like mine super chili. And then we're gonna put in that second layer of cheese. We're going to try to get that as evenly spread across the top as possible. Come on. Okay. So it's going to look like it fills up the pie dish, but the egg mixture is still going to cause this to bind, and it will fill up all the empty spaces that are happening here. All right, again, making sure it's nice and even in our pie plate. And we're going to put in more of our ham. Now, unfortunately, I did not have a ham steak. I had some nice spiral cut ham for this, so I'm kind of deviating from the recipe a little bit. But again, most recipes are usually some form of guideline. It's not like hard, fast rules. All right. Put a little bit more ham in. All right. And then we're going to do the rest of our green chilies. And again, trying to spread it as evenly as possible. Rearrange as needed. Trying to make sure every bite has a little bit of green chili, a little bit of ham. There we go. And that's what we fill up our pie plate with. Alrighty, now we're gonna go ahead and crack 5 to 6 eggs. I'm gonna be doing 6 because these are a little on the smaller side. And I know, super exciting watching me crack eggs. But once we're done cracking eggs, we're going to be adding a cup of half and half, which, again, I don't have half and half, so I'm going to be using heavy whipping cream. And then we're going to be doing 1/3 of a cup of flour, so this way the egg mixture has a chance to be able to set. Flour is a wonderful thickening agent. So if you're using any sort of doing any sort of sauce, gravy, or even a soup, you can use a little bit of flour to help thicken your sauce or your stew. Now, one of the most famous ways of doing that is by using a roux. And a roux is a really great way to thicken up anything. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and add our heavy whipping cream. And there's that. Alright. And then we're going to do 1/3 of a cup of flour. Remember, it needs to be level. And then we're going to blend this until there are no clumps. My mom likes to use a hand mixer. My hand mixer's on the fritz, so I am using a whisk. We're just going to give this a chance to get blended. We don't want to go super crazy at first because we don't want to kick up that flour everywhere. We want those egg yolks to break up. But as everything starts to dampen, we'll start to whisk a little harder. You can see how that color is coming in now that the yolks are getting broken in the eggs. And we're making sure we're getting rid of all of those little clumps of flour. Now, unlike scrambled eggs, we don't need this to get super fluffy. We just want this really well mixed. Which is why I keep on alternating how I'm mixing this. Doing from a good side-scraping stir to a good brisk whisk. Making sure I'm getting all those little clumps, making sure they get really well blended until you have a really nice smooth mixture like this. And then we're going to go ahead, get back our full pie plate, and we're just going to very carefully pour this on top, making sure we are not missing any spots, and we're pouring very slowly so it has a chance to sink in. We're also wanting to make sure we're covering everything. So you can see what I mean when it's going to fill up all those little nooks and crannies. Now, once our egg mixture is entirely in, we're going to put in a little bit of salsa. Now, recipe calls for picante. I'm actually going to try this little variant with salsa verde. And thank you to my cameraman for opening this jar that I couldn't get. Just kind of drizzling a little bit on the top. Using a nice little spoon to help keep it from contaminating the salsa. We're going to have that nice sort of salsa layer on top. Now, salsa verde is a little bit more on the liquidy side, but it will still add some really nice flavor to our quiche. Alrighty, now after that, we're gonna put this in our oven and we're gonna bake it for about 45 minutes or until the middle is set. So, I'm gonna pop it right in there and put that timer on for the 45 minutes. And there we go. Now it's time to wait. Now, we want to make sure it's not jiggling in the middle. So as I shake it here in the oven, it is not jiggling. So we're going to pop it over here and we're going to let it rest. So this way it can finish setting. But it's pretty much ready at this point. All we have to do is cut her up and serve. We just want to, again, let it cool off first. All right. Now that our quiche is set, now it's time for that famous taste test. Getting that full bite with ham and green chili. And I'm reminded of how much I'm in love with this cheesy, eggy goodness. Well, and that's how you do green chili and ham quiche. Hopefully I made you proud, Mom.